fun collaboration with Sammi over at Managing the Maze. And who doesn't love a good sheet pan meal, right?
Hello everyone. Today we're going to be making Mexican sheet pan pizza. It's basically Mexican pizza with a fried tortilla. It's actually pretty good.
All right, you ready? So we're going to get this started. We've got some fried tortillas, and I'm going to show, right now, I will show a video of us frying those up. But they are, you can hear the crispiness of them. This is only our second time making this, but it was so good the first time we said we've got to make it again.
I thought this was our third.
Is it our third?
I think it is.
Okay. Yes, this is what I did. Okay, so you tear your tortillas in half and you take the straight side and line it up against your sheet pan so that you have a side covering up the pan so that when you slice it,
these tortillas are having
on the bottom. Okay, so there's my bottom crust. Super fun for the kids. Get the kids involved. Super fun for them to start doing this. Okay, so now, Gavin, we're going to get a spreader out. Okay, so we're going to spread the beans on here, and I'm going to show Gavin and then let Gavin do it. And it's just one layer of beans. On the top, on the bottom crust is the beans. And so I'm just going to kind of dollop all over the pan, Gavin. And this would be one 16 ounce can of refried beans, or you can do like I did and refry my homemade beans. Either way. Okay, and so Gavin, you're just going to take the spreader and just gently spread them like I'm doing here, all on the bottom. Okay? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Totally let your kids help in the kitchen. It's so much fun. It's a bonding experience for both of you, and you're able to teach them some skills. Okay, got that done? Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now, don't do anything yet. Now we've got enchilada sauce. Again, you can get your favorite at the grocery store, or if you have some homemade.
You know the song from Grown Ups?
What's the song from Grown Ups?
I like pina colada one. They should say, I like enchilada sauce.
Okay, so I'm taking a spoonful at a time and just dropping it on the beans.
Guys, I had 2 games yesterday and we won back-to-back.
Baseball season has begun. The practice paid off. They won both their games. Okay, now you're going to take your meat and just sprinkle it on there.
Okay.
And I don't think... Okay, let's recap. We tore our fried tortillas to fit to the bottom of the sheet cake pan. Gavin spreaded the refried beans, which was just one can, or like a 16 ounce, 15, whatever the normal size can is. I did a can of my beans, so it was a quart can. Okay, a quart jar. And then he did probably about half a pound of hamburger meat, and I did some of the sauce over that. Now he's going to top this layer with a little bit of cheese. It does smell good in here. Okay, now you're going to top with 4 tortillas. So I'm going to take...
You really think on the 4th? Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. You're going to you just kind of have to make them fit.
Yep.
But it does work. So I did a total of 10 tortillas.
Only 10?
To fit the entire sheet pan. Okay, now we're going to
put more enchilada sauce.
Put more enchilada sauce, and I actually just pour it.
Yep.
And you just want.
Sometimes though, when you pour it, it kind of goes into the bottom part where all the food is. But that's
right.
Okay.
That's why I don't put so much on the bottom, and I just make sure that the top is covered in the sauce, and then you top with cheese. Now, you might be asking, where are the tomatoes? The kids don't really like the tomato chunks so much, so we decided that we were going to leave those out this time. But you could top it with diced tomatoes at this point as well. And it has black olives on it, so on a little bit, because I know that not everyone likes black olives, but on a little bit of the pizza, I'm going to top with some sliced black olives. Okay? Then we're going to put it in a 400-degree oven just to let the cheese melt. Oh, it's so yummy. Okay, so I found it's easier to just use your knife and then just cut down the middle. And then you can cut almost like individual Taco Bell squares. All right, Gavin, here, do a taste test.
Now with normal pizza, I would not eat with a fork.
You might be able to pick that up without using a fork.
I'm just gonna walk out of here. It's that good.
He said, I'm just gonna walk out of here. It's that good.
I'm gonna come back for another bite.
Oh, we're coming in for seconds.
You don't get any.
Gavin, I think that you could hold that. I don't know if it's...
It's too flimsy.
No, it is. I'm going to steal an olive because I like the olives.
I don't think your people understand. She might be the best cook I've ever seen. Better than Gordon Ramsay. That's right. I said it.
I don't know if I'm better than Gordon Ramsay, but y'all, this pizza, you have got to give it a try. So much fun to make and get the kids involved. That is why we love Sunday night pizza night, because we usually have 2 or 3 pizzas. Yes, we have leftovers, but it's always so much fun to have a little bit of help in the kitchen with your kids, and they would totally love tearing those tortillas apart. But anyway, I promise you, it is delicious. And I will also tell you, we warm it up in the air fryer, and it gets crispier that way as well. So much fun. I would say the #1 key is your enchilada sauce. Make sure that you get a good amount on the top, because that takes the flavor up a good notch. Who doesn't love a good sheet pan meal, right? Okay, so what I've got started is... I have a whole red bell pepper with a tablespoon of avocado oil and 3 diced green onions. And then, I'll pull you back up here. And then I've got a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and half a teaspoon of garlic, granulated garlic. It's back in the kitchen, yay. And so if you've been around for a couple of videos, we had an accident with the granulated garlic, but we got it back. Praise the Lord. Okay, so I'm just going to let these bell peppers soften for just a little bit. And then I've got in this little pot of flavor, I have a stick of butter, 2 tablespoons of chopped chives. I don't know if you can see it in me. And then I've got 4 cloves of garlic that I pressed in my garlic press. This is a 1/4 teaspoon of Old Bay, and then a 1/2 teaspoon of granulated garlic, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of parsley, and a tablespoon of fresh dill. And I'm gonna get that melting on the stove right now. And then we're gonna go over here to our sheet pans. Okay. Okay, I think I got you down good. All right, so I was using my scissors to open up the fish. So we are having farm to sea. Instead of surf and turf, we're having farm, kielbasa, or andouille sausage, whatever you have. A smoked sausage is what you want. This is kind of a Louisiana themed meal. And then I have Mauhi Mauhi. So we're gonna start with sprinkling just a little bit of salt on the Mauhi Mauhi. Doing sheet pan palooza. Oh my gosh, right? Today for lunch, Gavin and I made our Sunday night Mexican sheet pan pizza. All right, so we've got these going. Let's put some, just a little bit. You're not going to do much. Just sprinkle just a little bit of the andouille or the Old Bay onto your smoked sausage. Whatever you have, andouille, kielbasa, the smoked links, whatever you have and it is available in your area, that's what you can put on this farm to sea sheet pan. Oh my gosh, Gavin, how exciting is that? He's come in from the back. Okay, so our butter is melting. I've got the ovens preheated to 400. Next, we're going to put, this is 6 ounces of broccolini. So I'm going to do 6 ounces of broccolini on the tray. And I've got 2 packages of them. You can see that I've got 2 trays. I'm gonna put 2 trays in the ovens. I have smaller ovens, so I have to use both of them to do the 2 sheet pans. If you were doing this in a regular size oven, you could do this on 1 full sheet pan size. So you just kind of have to work with your oven when you're doing this. Okay, and so we're literally going to just roast this broccolini with the rest of our stuff. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt on the broccolini. And I want to drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over them. Okay. Okay, I thought I better put my apron on as well. So I've got 2 lemons because what I'm going to do, your lemon is actually going to work for 2 different things, for the broccolini and the fish. So I'm going to take a zester and I'm just going to zest the lemon, and you do not want to go too hard and get into the white of the lemon, so do it. And I'm just doing this whole lemon over the broccolini. I think you can see. Let me move you a little bit that way. So I did that one, and now I'm going to do this one. And that lemon is just going to brighten that broccolini and just make it even more amazing than it already is. Okay? And so then you can do a little bit of that zest over your fish as well. But what I'm going to do is take a knife and my cutting board, and I'm going to make slices of the lemon to put on top of the fish as it cooks. So So then when it comes out of the oven, the servings will have a slice of lemon on it that they can squeeze the lemon. A roasted lemon is amazing. This one is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to do 2. Okay, now our butter mixture melted very nicely. So I'm going to stir all of that yummy garlic and parsley and dill and chives, salt and pepper, the Old Bay. And so I'm just going to take a spoonful and drizzle over the fish and the lemon. And you'll just do that until you run out. Doing it a spoonful at a time assures that you get the same amount over each piece of fish. So then no one says, I was shorted on butter. And it looks like with 7, you'll have 7 to 8 pieces of fish. You'll want 2 pounds of the Mauhi Mauhi. So with 7 to 8 pieces, you're going to get 2 spoonfuls over each piece of fish, which will be more than enough because it will go down and cook as well. Okay, so it's that simple. That is our sheet pan. I'm going to put both of these in the oven right now. Remember, 400 degrees, and we're going to do 12 minutes. Okay, now let's move over. We've got those in 400 degree oven for, it's 10 to 12 minutes, but the size of those, I'm going to say 12 minutes. Okay, so we've got the onions and the green onions and the bell pepper. They've been sauteing over here while we have been waiting or getting the fish and the farm to see ready. We're going to take 3 cups of chicken broth. I think so. Let me double check my recipe. That's 2 cups of chicken broth to 1 cup of quinoa. Now, I'm going to turn the chicken broth up too high because I want that to come to a boil. And then I'm going to get my quinoa ready so that we can just pour that in when it comes to a boil. So there's a tablespoon of avocado oil, and then some salt and pepper, and then 3 green onions sliced and 1 medium size red pepper sliced or chopped. And then I'm going to, or diced, however you say that in your kitchen. Basically, we're making a quinoa side dish to go along with the fish and sausage and broccolini. And it's the Louisiana flavors in it are the red bell pepper and the garlic. I put garlic, granulated garlic and salt and pepper, and then the green onions. So those are that's the little bit of Louisiana that I put in, and then that will once come to a boil. That has come to a boil, so I have added the quinoa. I'm going to put a lid on it and keep it at a simmer for 12 to 15 minutes. It will work out perfectly because when I pull the fish out, I'll want it to rest for just a few minutes before I dish it up. So everything should come out working perfectly. As Gavin said today in his, while we were doing the Mexican pizza, he went, he's like, Mom, why did you just do that? Okay, it's coming. Dinner is happening.
Whoa.
Okay, I have just pulled it out of the oven, and Gavin said, "Oh, that smells delish."
Delicious.
So we are going to let it sit just for a minute because the quinoa is not quite ready. It has about 3 more minutes or so. So we're going to let that continue and let this rest. I love how the broccolini gets the beautiful roast color, the roasted vegetable. I love that, how the broccolini does that. Move out of the way for a second. What I am going to do while it's just come out is just kind of take my tongs and just kind of get it in that butter and the seasonings. And remember, we did put the lemon zest on it as well. Oh, you guys, this is going to be good. Okay, let's get this served up. Beautiful. This is going to be a beautiful plate. I can already see it happening. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of the quinoa and put it on the plate first because I'm going to put my fish on top of that. And it's just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Sheet pan dinners are so much fun. This one you could keep in the refrigerator on the sheet pan, ready to go when you got home. Assemble it, and then all you would have to do when you got home was put the butter mixture on and put it in the oven. There's so many different ways to make sheet pan meals, and I hope that you will click in the description box below and hit the playlist and see all of the amazing collaborators and what they have come together. Okay, let's wrap this sheet pan palooza up and end it on a very sweet note. This is Mama's chocolate sheet cake, and I'm going to do half a recipe to show you how you can use your quarter sheet pans. So it's the smaller of the sheet pans. And if you just need a sweet little snack or a mini treat, then this is the perfect way to do this. I will include the full recipe in the description for the regular chocolate sheet cake recipe. I've got to start with sifting my flour, baking soda, and salt. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to put you where you can see the pot, and then I will just be telling you what I'm putting in. So you're going to start with a saucepan on the stove at medium heat. You're going to add, I use lard. You can use margarine or Crisco. And then you're going to do half a cup. Well, don't listen to my measurements because I'm doing the half recipe. But then you're going to add some coffee and cocoa powder. And then you're going to whisk this all together and bring it to a boil. We all know a watch pot doesn't boil. I melted the lard and in the microwave, and I had brewed coffee on the pot, and so both of those liquids were warm when I put them in the pan. So hopefully that will help the process go a little bit quicker. But this is a recipe that you will want to have all of your ingredients laid out and ready to go, because once it starts, you don't want to have to stop to do anything. So you can see that I have my setup here where I have everything already measured and ready to go. Okay, it is starting to boil. So I am now going to add in the sugar, and I will whisk that in. Pour in your flour and just whisk that in. And this will begin to cool the batter so that when you add the egg, you do not cook your egg. That is smooth and all of the lumps of flour are whisked in. You're going to add your sour cream. If you do not have sour cream, you can use yogurt, vanilla, or just plain Greek yogurt. You're going to whisk that in, and then before I get that totally whisked, I will add my egg and then vigorously get that egg added quickly so that we do not cook it. And then at this point, you're going to take your whisk or your spatula. You've got you're gonna add your batter. It's hard to do it on. You're gonna add your batter to a greased quarter sheet pan. And you can see that this batter fits nicely. You'll just kind of have to help it get to the corners, but it fits nicely in that pan. Again, this was half a recipe. Half a recipe, so a full recipe will go into a sheet pan, a 15 by 10 with a 1-inch lip, into a 375-degree oven. And it just takes 20 minutes. While your cake is baking in the oven, then you're gonna wanna start your icing. And so I'm gonna move you down again. So this is, for the half recipe, we're gonna do half a stick of butter, some cocoa, and some heavy cream. And then we're just gonna melt that and get that cocoa whisked in real well. Okay, then I've got powdered sugar that I have sifted with some cinnamon, and I'm just going to add this a little bit at a time to assure a smooth consistency. And I do have it on medium heat. The heat does help it go in nicely together. I might need to add just a little bit more cream, but we'll wait and see towards. And then at this point, I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. Whisk that in real well. And then I will turn the heat off and just let it sit on the burner. Once the cake comes out, I will put it on immediately when the cake comes out. Okay, it has just come out of the oven. Toothpick came out clean. So I'm going to put you down and show you putting the frosting on. Remember, your pan will be hot, so make sure and have something if you need to use it to, and so hard to do this on camera. Okay, so then I just I just pour it out onto the cake. And you just want to make sure you get every bit of that icing out. Unless you have a kid that likes to lick the spoon. But on this, I tell them they have to eat it on the cake because I want every bit of goodness on the cake. Okay, and then you just take a cake spreader and it just goes on ever so smoothly to make a delicious cake. Now this, of course, it's so yummy, you guys. This is the perfect after school snack for your kids. It is the perfect weekend after Sunday dinner dessert, or it's even a special holiday with all of your family. Thank you guys so much for watching this Sheet Pan Palooza collaboration that I have been just so humbled and blessed to be a part of. We just thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you in the kitchen soon. Happy cooking!